Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally back to do my weekly check-in for both week 1 as well as week 2 of my July monthly budget. It has been, I don't want to say crazy because I always say crazy, but I think it has been very difficult for me to get into my budget this month. And the reason being, I think, has to do with the fact that I'm over here changing from system to system instead of staying in a system that I really loved in the beginning. And of course, that's nobody else's fault but my own. But I think just trying to show you guys as much of what I can show you guys that's out there with kind of the system that I want to stick with for this academic year for my budget planner has really just, I guess, took a toll on me, which sounds so ridiculous, but it's true. I have here, of course, the binder from Recollections that I got from Michael. So if you guys have not checked this out, I will leave a link for it down below, as well as my first 3 budget setup videos in the beginning of the month I made in this. But as of now, I have switched over to my plum paper. This video is going to be kind of weird because I am honestly currently in the process of making especially budget expense stickers for the monthly view. I already have most of my pages all set up, so I am probably going to go back and forth from the plum paper to the Recollections binder, just because, of course, my budget expense stickers don't fit in the plum paper monthly. So just wanted to go ahead and say that right now so that you guys are not confused as to why I'm going back and forth between planners. But of course, hopefully by next weekly check-in, if not by the weekly check-in after that, I will have all those stickers all done and ready to put in my plum paper. So I actually tried to film my week 1 check-in and it kind of just went to poop. I think the main reason that happened was because this was just so different than what I was used to, and I just honestly didn't even want to look at it for a little bit because I didn't have my ish together, and I really wanted to be, you know, in a coiled planner because that's something that I really loved about my past budget planners. And so I guess that kind of threw me off, but I am here and I am going to weekly check in. Things like my variable income being updated and my sinking funds. I did put some of the transactions here in the beginning for last week, but I am just going to go back to the plum paper just because I didn't want to write them in 2 different planners, which was what I was doing in the beginning, just so that I could show you guys everything in this planner. But I'm honestly just over it, and I just want to get to a system that's functional to me instead of me having to set up 2 different systems at a time. So I already have all of my expense trackers here, and you guys probably don't know this. I am now able to put my weekly check-in onto 2 pages. So I put week 1 through the 3rd on one page and 4 and 5 on the other page. I've already broke them up between the weeks. You guys know that I typically like to do from Monday through Sunday, but typically in the beginning it's a little bit different. So this time around I just did from Wednesday to Sunday. So from the 1st to the 5th is week 5, and then from the 6th through the 12th will be week 2. And since I am now spreading all of my categories instead of grouping them together like I typically have for like the past almost 2 years, I have now decided to add new budget expense tracker colors. So I did add, I believe, this rosy one from my neutrals collection and the fog one from the neutrals collection as well. So these are all of the categories that I'll be having in my monthly view. So we have unbudgeted as red, groceries as the rosy color, eating out as light pink, allowance as the fog, beauty is this teal color, gas is purple, and then other is still the same as yellow. If you guys are wondering what this is just a washi card that I got in one of my Simply Gilded subscription boxes, and then I just used a coil clip from EC. And the coil clip matches perfectly to the coil and the plum paper as well. So that works out really nicely. And of course, I think I could still, and honestly, I could even use it in here. Look at that. It goes perfectly too. So it's not necessarily for one specific planner, but I guess I'll just leave it here for now, since that's what I'm going to be working with. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to start checking things off. And then let's go ahead and put my no spend stickers here. So I have from the 1st to the 5th, 2 no spend days, so the 3rd and the 4th. And then from the 6th until the 12th, I have 3 no spend days. So these past 2 weeks have been pretty good. I actually just got back from a weekend family trip in Laughlin, and that, I don't know if you guys have watched my plan with me from last week, but I was saying how anxious I was about the whole thing. But one of you guys reached out to me and told me that I had really nothing to worry about and to just, you know, sanitize and of course wear a mask. And so I'm really glad that I ended up going, and it was really fun to spend, you know, time with my family and just have a little bit of a vacation that I haven't really had in a while. So most of these, especially the weekend items, were at Laughlin, and like I got gas once. I got gas twice, but you guys won't be seeing Monday up until next week's check-in. So I guess that's a little sneak peek, but it's actually really interesting and funny to me to see like this new color that I haven't seen in my monthly view before. And things are different, but I think they'll be really nice now because everything is not grouped together, and I think it'll just be a lot easier to track all in all. So let's take, I'm gonna take my monthly view out and the weekly check-in. And I guess I'll just put my little key right there. That's so funny. So let's do week 1 first. So for groceries, so far in week 1, I have one transaction here, which was $28 at Target. And keep track of my cash dividers and what money is going out. I do keep this micro happy planner with me. So groceries on the 5th, I started with $230, so that means that I have $202 remaining. Of course, this is for last week, so it is going to be different for this week. But I had $202 remaining at the end of week 1, so we can check this off. And then next up we have eating out, which is still the light pink color. I have one transaction, Buffalo Wild Wings, which was $23. And I started with $130, so that means I have $108, or I had $107 left, sorry. So let's check this one off too. Next, for gas, I don't have any expenses for the first week, so I still should have, or I still had $80. This is so difficult. I feel like the last time I had to do week 1 and week 2 together, I think I was in Peru in like 2018. Like, it's been a while that I've had to do this, and you can tell it's definitely not like me, and I feel like I'm always, you know, put together with my budget. I don't know, I feel like I'm in a rut right now. I don't even want to talk about it, guys. But okay, next we have allowance, which I didn't spend. No, I haven't spent anything. So 0, and that means that I have 100 remaining. And then the last expense here is a beauty one, which was also for Target. I ended up buying a new concealer because I was running out. So that came out of my beauty cash divider. And I started with $160, so that means after the concealer, I had $152 left over. And then there are no red stickers, so that means, well, at all in both of the weeks. So I didn't have any unbudgeted expenses. So that would just get a dash there. Alright, so week 1 is all done, and I think I'm just going to move right along to week 2. So my categories, of course, these are all of my cash dividers. Oops, I wrote grocery. I could have honestly kept it like that, but it's okay. Okay. So groceries. I'm honestly glad that this is not my actual budget planner, because I kind of messed up in like some of the lines. I was a hot mess, let's just say that. I think that's one of the main reasons why I didn't upload last week's video. Then we have gas, allowance, and beauty. So I really like to track all of my cash dividers in here so that I kind of know how much I have remaining and how much I have to make last until the end of the month. So that's the main reason why I love doing this weekly check-in. Of course, I know not a lot of people do it. A lot of people just like tracking their expenses, which is honestly what I typically do for my business. So people just have, you know, different ways of doing things, and this is just what's been working for me for so long, so I like to stick with it. So then for week 2, from the 6th until the 12th, for groceries we have $35. I think I just ended up getting a couple of things. I might have gotten groceries. Will sometimes also be household for me, whenever it's, you know, it's my turn to pick up detergent or like some wipes or whatnot. And so this time around it was my turn to do that. So I feel like I've been needing to do that every single month, so I might just have to either up the groceries amount or make a whole different section for household or like miscellaneous, and a lot of people do that. So that's kind of what I've been seeing the past couple of months. So now is the time when, you know, you see the trends, and that's kind of when I have that reaction that, okay, I need to probably add another category or add some more money in this. I don't want to talk about like the grocery run I had for this week. That will be the next weekly check-ins video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But I did spend quite a lot of money on that grocery run that I had, because I am now working with a nutritionist, and so I had to buy a lot of the things because I didn't, of course, have them at home. But let's see. So after $35 at Target, I have remaining $167 for the rest of the month. Next, for eating out, I was at Laughlin, like I mentioned, with my family, so I did have a few eating out expenses over the weekend. For the most part, I did want to take it out of my eating out cash divider rather than my adventure sinking fund, just because since I'm, like I mentioned, I'm working with a nutritionist, I'm no longer going to be eating out, I don't think, for the rest of the month. So I was okay with, you know, spending money here and there from my eating out cash divider. So we have In-N-Out for $14 on the 10th, Outback for $28 on the 11th, and then $17 for Chili's. That is a total of $59. So $59 spent for eating out. And after all those 3 expenses, I have $48 remaining for the month, which, like I mentioned, is going to be perfectly fine just because I'm on a diet now. Which, oh guys, can't wait to let you guys know all about that. Okay, so let's check these off. Next, I have gas, which I do have an expense. I paid $32. This was right before I drove to Laughlin, and I had some gas left over, so I only had to pay $32 this time around. And gas is so cheap in Arizona, guys. Like, I can't. Okay, so I was so confused. I was like, are they both 48? But yeah, they are. Okay, so after the $32, I have $48 left for gas. And then last but not least, we have allowance and beauty. I haven't spent any money for my allowance. I kind of want to save it up. I don't know what it is that I want to do, but I kind of want to like stop buying, you know, knickknacks here and there and kind of save up my money for something a little bit bigger. Like, I know I'm trying to dye my hair professionally, and so I might end up saving that money. Who knows? We'll see as the month goes by. It's only the 2nd week, but so for allowance, I still have $100 remaining. And then for beauty, I did spend $21 at Walmart. I ended up buying, I believe, like a new deodorant, some razors, because I forgot mine at home, and some new press-on nails, which I haven't worn in a while. And I feel like that was definitely me, like having cute nails in the past. So I definitely want to get back into that because I know a lot of you guys love like the fake nails or the press-on nails. So in total, I spent $21 for beauty. And after that, I should have, I have $131 remaining for the rest of the month. I had actually made an appointment finally for lash extensions, but everything is closing up here in California, so I'm not going to be going to that, which is kind of sad, but you know, I'll save money there. So we're good. Okay, so that is basically it for the weekly check-in part of this video. Yes, I have one more sticker here, which was for what I paid the nutritionist, which came out to around $48. Now I have this in a yellow sticker because it's not, the money is not necessarily coming out of the weekly check-in categories like my cash dividers, but rather a category that I had in my budget. So let me see. So I do have it here, as you guys can see, and I did go a little bit over budget just because I had to send the payment through a PayPal extension called Zoom, I think. And so that had a fee on it, and I wanted to give her, you know, like a $5 tip. So I did that, but that won't get tracked up until the end of the month once I'm doing my results section and I fill out my budget spread. So that is pretty much it for the weekly check-in part of this video. This is all done, and now let me go ahead and show you guys the transactions in my sinking fund spread, as well as if I have any variable income spending. And so here is when I come back to my plum paper, because I didn't want to have to keep writing stuff down on both of the planners. I haven't fully set this whole planner up yet, but when it is that I do set up every single page, because the plum paper has so many pages, like even with me having my weekly check-in on 2 pages and my sinking funds on 2 pages, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, guys. Like, I have a ton of pages to work with. So if you guys have any ideas of what I should put in the rest of the pages, let me know. I have a couple of ideas of my own, which I will be hopefully executing those sometime soon. But let's see. So for my sinking funds, I did have a couple of expenses. On the first, I had a tooth filling, so that was $18. Then on the 6th, well, actually, let's jump to the first right here. This was just something that I forgot to note. I had noted it in my binder, but then I forgot to bring it over to my plum paper, so it's a little bit out of order. And I think that was kind of like the last straw where I was like, okay, I can't be doing 2 planners. Also on the first, I went thrift store shopping in LA, and I did spend $46 for that, and that came out of my clothing sinking fund. Next, for car insurance, that was on the 6th. I paid $200, and the description just says car insurance payment. Also on the 6th, from my date night sinking fund, I spent $25. I bought Paul some board shorts. He bought me a bikini, so I bought him that, and that's kind of what we did there. And then the last 2 transactions that I have here are from my adventures sinking fund, which is typically the fund that I use for any trips that I go on. So I did go on a Laughlin trip, like I mentioned. So on the 10th, I paid my sister $125 for my part of the hotel fee. And then also for my adventure sinking fund on the 12th, I paid around $129. And that was just for things that we got at Walmart, whether it be like food or miscellaneous things like some chairs to sit on, and like $20 to spend on like slots. So that was the total of my trip, which makes me really happy that I've been saving, you know, little by little some money in my adventure sinking fund so that I can do trips like these. And I'm glad that, you know, I did have the money in there, but now I think it's time to definitely put more money back in there. So in the next couple of months, I might end up putting like $150 or whatnot, just because I don't have to fund my Peru trip that much whenever it is that I'm going to be going to that. So that is pretty much it for my sinking funds. And then for my variable income spending, this is what I have so far. So I have, of course, PicMonkey fee on the first. I bought some habit tracker stencils after Julie's plan showed it on her Instagram from Dear Lily Designs. I'll go ahead and show you guys, and I'll be using those in my planner soon. On the 4th, I spent $23.75 from Sticky Essentials. She had some new kits and 20% off, which is always a good thing. Then on the 5th, for $26.38, I bought from a new to me sticker shop called Saucy Stickers Co. I ended up getting some foiled, I think, yoga mats, and she does sell B6 kits, which I currently will be using the Primpression B6 Spiral Planner as my memory planner. So I decided to, you know, test out and see how these B6 kits look. And they typically have less stickers, so they're a lot more inexpensive. So I definitely wanted to check those out. And then on the 8th, for $42.75, $1.72 from Two Little Bees. I bought some mini kits and she was having 15% off. I feel like she always has 15% off, so go check her out. I love Two Little Bees. And then last but not least, on the 10th for $49.40 from Rose Colored Days, I ended up getting her new and famous date cover tapes and some different scripts. The date cover tapes I will be using, I think, in my memory planner, and I think it'll just be a lot easier than just, you know, buying date covers every single time I want to do a spread in there, and it's just all in all more inexpensive. So I think that's pretty much going to be it for this weekly check-in video for both week 1 and week 2. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, please do not forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. Promise that next time, hopefully I won't be such a hot mess, and hopefully I do get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.